It's no secret that Japanese people celebrate longer New Year's holidays compared to a lot of Western countries. A lot of you also know that not only the trains in Japan, but the people are very punctual as well. So, today we're going to be talking about what New Year's is like in Japan. But before we start, my name is Sean Aaron and I'm the founder of Language Accountability, where we help you learn Japanese faster. So, today we're going to be talking about three main things, okay? The first thing is going to be the difference between Christmas and New Year's in Japan. The second thing is going to be about how Japanese people actually spend their New Year's Day, okay? And after that, I'm going to give you a Japanese quiz, so please comment below if you understood the answer of the quiz, okay? The third thing is going to be a secret, okay? So guys, stick with me till the end. I want to talk about Christmas before we actually dive into New Year's, because there's a fundamental difference between Western culture and Eastern, or specifically Japanese culture when it comes to Christmas. And that is number one. Christmas in Japan is not designed for people who actually want to have fun, spend quality time with their family. It's more of a going on a date type of thing. So it's, if you go to the movies, if you go to, like a zoo or something, you have a lot of couple discounts, like, for married people or just, couples, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend, but you won't have discounts for family. You know what I'm saying? And that's a thing that a lot of you are surprised when you arrive to Japan. Either you're studying in Japan or working in Japan, spending your first Christmas here. That's one thing that I see. A lot of people ask me that question a lot in Japan. Is that Christmas is designed for people who actually want to spend time with their partner, not their family. So please remember that. So the second point I'll point out is that compared to Christmas, you have a lot of fun with your partner on Christmas, but on the flip side, on New Year's, you're kind of expected to go back to your home city, hometown, and spend some quality time with your family. So that's kind of the difference between Christmas and New Year's in Japan. So please remember that, right? Alright, moving on to difference number two. The next thing I want to point out when it comes to New Year's in Japan is that, in America, in my experience in general, the major holidays like, Easter, 4th of July, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, was that you just get drunk at night and waste the next morning type of thing, right? I think let's be real, I think that's kind of true. In Japan, a lot of people like to start their New Year's fresh. So even though they're kind of drunk at night, they kind of, do their countdown thing at night. Even though they do that, they're awake in the morning real early and going to the shrine with their family, okay? So that's a huge difference. The reason for that is, なんでかっていうと、日本人っていうのは終わりよければ全てよしとも言うんですけど、新年1年をこうすっきり始めるってことは日本人にとってすごく大事なんですよ。So if you understood what I said right now, please comment below. Yeah, I read all my comments, so yeah, please comment below if you knew what I said right now. So, but anyway, for Japanese people, it's more important to start the New Year's, start your New Year fresh, fresh and clean. You go to your shrine. For example, my family, when I was a kid, I used to be at my grandma's house at 8, maybe a little earlier, because they're very punctual. Arrive at my grandma's place at 8, start eating our New Year's breakfast. You order it from people deliver it for you. It's not like a Pizza Hut delivery, right? Like in America, it's kind of a special once a year type of special delivery that comes to your house. You eat your whole thing. Grandma makes something called ozoni, which is mochi with some soup. Soup, some mochi in it, right? It's and you have some otoso, which is Japanese sake. Every kid needed to have it, at least in my family. Usually kids, sometimes they have Sprite or something as an alternative because they can't drink. But in general, you have to drink it. A lot of traditional families still do that, and I used to do that a lot. So that's how we spend our New Year's. So in general, Japanese people think that it's more important to start your New Year's, it's more important to start the New Year fresh and clean, kind of wake up early and kind of continue that. So that's how they do it. Right, quick pause, guys. If you really want to start learning Japanese, check this link out. We've got great teachers and great resources. And spots are limited, so if you want to join, do it now. And the third thing I want to point out is this is going to be kind of a difference in customs type of thing. But in America in general, we don't really do anything. It feels special, New Year's feels special, but you don't really give any gifts. Parents don't give anything to the kids. It's not like Christmas, it's just New Year's. It's just a day for adults to, for everyone to kind of relax. school or work starts the next day on the 2nd, and you're not really doing anything. Compared to that, in Japan, like I said in my previous point, we go to our grandma's house in the morning. We do our, big fiesta type of thing. Have our sake, have our alcohol in the morning, do our thing, right? And during that feast, your grandma and grandpa has prepared an envelope with a lot of money in it. It's called otoshidama. Otoshidama. It's literally, I think in English, it's something, the closest way to say it is money in an envelope, or like money for the year. That's a good one, right? At some point, grandma and grandpa is gonna give every grandkid that envelope, and you will open it at home. You do not open it there. It's very rude to do. You open it at home and tell your mom how much you got, and then depending on depending on your parents, if they're gonna use it, it's gonna be a secret, or you can use it. You can be smart enough and use it by yourself. So that depends on the family. But in general, in my family, oh, and also there's no strict rule for at what age you need to get how much. There's no specific amount that you need to get at each stage. But it depends on if you come from a rich family, poor family, middle class. All depends, right? But in general, in my family, I had, I don't know, as a teenager, I had about 500 to 800 bucks, I guess. But when you're a teenager, close to $1,000, that's like the whole world to you, right? When you're like 19. So that's another thing that Japanese people do. But the reason that Japanese people do that here is that, when you look at history, people who worked in Japan in the 70s to 80s had a really good time. They got their, good bonuses, good salary, they got to travel the world. We're kind of in a bubble, right? We were, right? And then not a lot of women worked at that time. Daddy went to work, earned the big bucks, and then the family had a great time. Things were a lot easier back then. And then because of that, our grandparents kind of want to, give their grandkids a kickstart in their life, in their year, right? So that's kind of how it started. And yeah, because of that, I've got off, my grandpa would always tell me, get your new basketball shoes over there. Go get your new book for school. Go get some summer clothes. Go get some, whatever that kind of help you that year to kind of give you a kickstart in life in general. And although like all kids, I used to use all that money on video games and stuff. But as I grew up, 20, 21, 22, I was very happy about the fact that I could get money from my grandparents and then use it for something that kind of produces value in my life, right? I saved for my computer, I saved for, this and that, right? So that was a really good experience, and that's why a lot of Japanese grandparents give their kids money for New Year's. It's a lot of money, depending on where you come from, depending on what type of family you're in. Alright, those were 3 main differences between American New Year's and Japanese New Year's. If you liked the video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Also, comment below if you were able to guess the answer of our Japanese quiz. Alright, till next time, ciao ciao.